Welcome to Thors Hammer, a roundtable discussion on the Minnesota Vikings by Viking fans from around the country. Each week we gather and discuss and hammer out everything about the Minnesota Vikings. What we saw the previous week, what we'll see in store for the upcoming matchup, and a few surprises on the way. Join us each week as we set sail on a new adventure. It's here, it's Thors Hammer.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on Thors Ham tonight. I'm your host, Viking Bob, and we are licking our wounds from Green Bay. Alongside with me is Jason. How you doing?
I'm good, Bob. How are you?
Been better, man. That first quarter, it hurt my wallet, my liver, and my head the next day.
Ooh.
Those Jack Daniels and Jack and Coke are going down a little too quickly, and yeah.
Sounds like a hangover.
Yeah. Alright, and also joining us is Mr. Berserker. How are you tonight, buddy? Doing good tonight, yep. Alright, well, before we start our show and get into the Packers game, we have to tell everybody at home that Berserker has a drunk alter ego. He gets blacked out drunk, and he literally came in here and destroyed our studio. So starting next week, we will be heading back out to the road because we have no choice. This place needs to be redone or burnt down or whatever. So thank you, Berserker. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That's our bad. Yep. Won't happen again as long as the team plays better. Well, that's why we fly out to a bar, we do the show, and we fly back. So Zerker can get drunk on Sunday and destroy his house. not a multi-million-dollar studio. Not quite that much, but
Marble walls
yeah.
with
Well,
padding.
hopefully you had insurance, right? Insurance, yeah. No? Oh no. Oh, we could have done that. Well, that's it. That's where we're heading next week. We're heading back to the road because it was so much fun last year. We're going to do it again. So, to start the show, we'll give a sad Packer recap. Talk a little bit about a few of the players of the game. Get into the upcoming game against Oakland. Discuss some picks. Go back into the wonderful upset specials, which I hit mine last week. And we'll call it a night. But let's jump into the Packer game. I'm sorry, it's the Vikings versus the Packers and refs.
That I agree with.
Has there ever been a game that had 4 offensive pass interference calls?
Not that
I don't think so.
I can't remember one.
I mean, I know it's a new rule in the league that so even the team can challenge it, but are you kidding me? It's like, well, what happened with Antonio Brown crying about his contract to get out of Pittsburgh and crying about even more about a helmet and crying on social media to get out of Oakland. Then in a couple of hours he signed with the Patriots. I was thinking the NFL is becoming the new NBA. But after watching the Vikings game on Sunday, I think it's become the new WWE. Yeah. We had what? Was 10 penalties for over 100 yards, something like that?
It was astounding.
Yeah, how do you even hope to win a game like that? You know, we almost did, even though our defense was horrible on the first 3 drives. since we need a new studio here in Berserker, you're going to have to earn this one here. Give us your insight of that first quarter. Don't say it was awesome.
First quarter. That first
Don't
quarter
say it was
almost.
awesome.
Yeah. It was not. It was the opposite. If I could say awesome backwards, I know I'm thinking. That first quarter almost made me shut the TV off, which I have not done with the Viking game. I can't remember if I've ever done it. I don't think I have. It looked like we were just not going to do anything. And if we did try to do something, it ended up bad for us. It was just so terrible. So terrible.
Truer words could not have been spoken. Jason, use your insight.
Well, it was basically every nightmare that I had about what could happen if things weren't done correctly, and it was like I had this fear early that they weren't gonna have curse on the taller receivers, and sure enough, they didn't. Zimmer waited until it was 21-0 to start putting curse on the taller guys, and that second touchdown to Geronimo Allison, you had Nate Metters, who's like 5'10", trying to cover Allison, who's 6'3", in the end zone. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I've been saying it for a long time that Zimmer, I think he goes into every game without a plan. And then he waits to see what the other team does, and then he adjusts to that other team's strategy. How about go in with a better plan? If he went in with some kind of plan, I don't think we would have been down 20-0.
I agree.
It gets frustrating. It truly does. That every game we have to wait for him to see what that team's doing to make an adjustment. So in many aspects, he gets outcoached. How do you not know, or at least have a good idea what your other team is going to do? I mean, you know your own weaknesses. The other team knows your weaknesses. They're going to play against your weaknesses.
I was absolutely stunned that matchup was even allowed to occur. And then, then I noticed that they switched it up after, and I was so angry that it even happened in the first place.
It can't happen. It cannot happen anywhere ever again if this team expects to win, make the playoffs and might win games. Yeah, it's 21-0 in the first quarter to anybody. Granted, they didn't give up another point rest of the game. They almost came back to one. They had their chances. But let's talk about, the first touchdown they score, Dalvin Cook. Beautiful 75-yard run. Extra point, good. Bingo, yay. Let's go that touchdown. Get taken away for Dalvin Cook with blocking in the end zone. Then we have another touchdown. Diggs rips his helmet off and pulls us back, another 15 yards. So now he can't go over two. Like, we have a kick blocked. What else can go wrong?
That was like Murphy's Law.
Yeah. Cook. Diggs needs to be smart in that. You can't rip your helmet off because you want to show off and say, lug it up for the crowd. You can't do that. It's not the first time he's done it. So why do you got to show off? Or look what I did. You're still losing the game. It's got to stop. You need to be more disciplined. And it's not just him. There are a few other players on the team too, but most times it seems lately it is Diggs. I'm not trying to come down the guy, but come on. You're a professional. Act that way. Then we had, how many fumbles did we have? 4. Cousins had 2. Didn't BB have a couple? But I think he recovered them. But ball control. And of course, last element of the game, we're driving. Only guy in the team that wasn't open, Cousins started to throw it in there.
I thought he
Is
was
that
throwing
it?
it away.
Wish he did.
I thought he did. I put it in my notes and he throws it away. And I looked up and went, oh, fuck, he did.
Yeah. Threw it away, all right. But the other team. Threw the game away, you should have said. Yeah. I mean, that stuff can happen. I mean, I've seen him try to rifle it in there to make a play happen, but it was first down. First and 10. We run the ball very effectively, and let's try to lob one in to one guy's covered by two players.
I couldn't believe he made the throw. I looked. It almost looked like he couldn't decide whether he wanted to throw it away or try to throw the touchdown, because it almost got out of the end zone, but it not quite. It was just like, it was just maddening.
Throw it away. Throw it away. If you're not, it's first down. If you're not 100% sure your guy's going to catch the ball or no one's going to catch the ball, throw it away. So we had Cook. Had another massive game for us. They couldn't stop the run. But let's try, lobbing one in there up the grab for two guys against one. And if you look at the screenshot of that play, everybody underneath was wide open. I mean, the only guy who's covered was stealing. But, so, what are you guys thinking now at quarterback? Because we discussed in preseason Kyle Slaughter. People hated him, people loved him. People hated him, people loved him, blah, blah, blah. Now you had Manning gets the job as backup, and he will say, well, he's here to help Kirk get better. He's smart. He's going to help him, make the right decision. When's that going to happen? Anybody? Jason? When's that going to happen? I know you didn't like Slaughter, and I don't know if you're a big Mannion fan, but Manning got the job because of his so-called knowledge of the game. Going to help Kirk in the study room.
Well, I don't. I'm not freaking out like a lot of people are online about this. I'm irritated by it. I'm irritated by the game in general. The bad start on defense, the interception in the end zone. But I'm not ready to give up on the team or give up on Cousins, because last year after the Buffalo game, Cousins, he ripped off like 4 or 5 really good games in a row. So I think he's going to bounce back off of this. We're 1-1. There's 14 games left. So, and if you look at this team, they usually have one game every year, whether it was San Francisco in 2015, the Colts in 2016, Buffalo last year, where they just come out and they're just horrible. They were completely horrible in the first quarter, but they did sort of bounce back in this one. But it looked like this was their just flat game early on, and hopefully this was the wake up call that usually they snap out of it after that. So I expect them to bounce back. I don't really think this was anything more than they just had a bad day. But it just sucks the way it happened, because it was just an irritating bunch of events. But I don't think this defense is just going to get burned for 21 points in the first quarter every week, or Cousins is going to make that play every week. It's going to take more than one game to convince me of that.
Hey, Berserk, I think we found the optimistic fan.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm not that down on the team. If they would have given up and it was ended up 34-0 or 42-3 or something like that, I'd be down on the team. But since they fought back and almost won it until a stupid mistake, I can live with stupid mistakes. No, I can't. That's what happened.
That's right. Whether it be Zerka, coming out of your paycheck, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, we make so damn much, it's really not going to phase me at all. I might have to sell a yacht or something.
Small yacht. Small yacht. Definitely. Small yacht. But, I don't know. I mean, obviously the referees didn't help. It's, you know, it seems like the new WWE.
The Cook call. Let's talk about that a little bit more. That was just so ridiculous. He wasn't even near the play.
That play's ran by every team ever. Patriots made a living off that play forever. I mean, it's a joke almost, right? If I remember correctly, the Patriots did it. The route play, whatever.
Every team does it.
Well, yeah, I know, but us, apparently, if you're playing a Lambeau.
Well, I mean, you know, they have to get the stats. The calls their way. It's kind of a joke. It's absolutely hideous.
Because that would have really changed it.
Yeah. I mean, with 8 penalties for 100 yards. They had 6 penalties for 35.
Yeah, I took notes sometime before during the fourth quarter. It was like 115 yards versus 20 yards. Just something like that. Like that's pathetic.
You guys want to hear a very interesting stat?
Sure.
Sure. For what times in the NFL history a team has rushed as a team over 7-yard average and lost? 3 of those times, Cousins was the quarterback.
I think that's that.
Is that not strange?
It bothers me.
Hmm.
Then I blacked out, so I don't know.
I tell you what, I wasn't too far behind you. I was. Normally, I'll watch a game and have a few beers, but that first quarter was so bad. I immediately hit the Jack Daniels bottle, and Jack is not my friend. Jack is not my friend. I like him. He just doesn't like me.
I was ready to turn it off, and then Cook had the the touchdown to make it 21-7. But I mean, I've never been like, and I'm usually a pretty strong supporter of Zimmer, but that just I was just like totally triggered by Nate Metters covering a 6'3" receiver.
Well, at least you know his name, at least. I had no idea who number 44 was. I thought Foreman was out there covering somebody for some reason.
Yeah.
You might have had a better chance of covering him.
I think you probably would have.
Like really, and I mean, and I know we're gonna get to the Raiders game, obviously, but you brought this up earlier, Bob. Like, how is Zimmer not? How does he not see this? Like, and then after it's 21-0, then curses on the taller guys, and it never happens again. Like, why wasn't he on him from the beginning? Why?
I don't know. I don't get it. I'm very baffled. I mean, you have some people who say Zimmer's the worst coach we've ever had. That's the Bucks man. But probably he might be. I don't know. They say he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. He might be. But if he is, how does this stuff happen over and over? You should never, ever be down 21-0 in the first quarter. Any team is that good of a coach.
Right. Like these, yeah, I don't understand. Like, and his defense will be good for a majority of the season. I'm sure in this game they're going to be great. And they may have 7 really good performances in a row. But in a crunch time game, whether it was the NFC Championship game or, when they need to get it done, they don't.
Yeah. That's got to come up from the coaching. Because of the players should be up to want to win and do their job to maybe hoist up on body someday. But like you said, they fall short on the field.
I don't know. I mean, I hope, like I said, I'm not throwing in the towel, but I really hope and pray that this was a wake-up call to say, look, if we didn't do this ridiculous stuff, we really could have won that game on the road. And that's where they need to take the next step. To go from a good team to a great team.
Definitely get the hope for that. Berserker, you're awfully quiet. I know you're hiding your head there for a good reason, but it's okay to speak.
No, it's just, man, that game, the Cook, and we need to take care of the ball on the road, obviously. Too many fumbles, too many turnovers. But how we can look so flat coming into the divisional rival. You know, we look just like as flat as we did against Buffalo at home last season. And that's on the coaching. It has to be.
Yeah, like why, you do have to ask that, like, with Diggs in the helmet, like, if you're a really well-disciplined, well-coached team, like, you're not going to see the Patriots do that. Save for maybe Antonio Brown. But usually the Belichick coach teams would never do something that ridiculous. And Diggs is one of my favorite players. I can't believe he was that stupid.
It's pretty amazing. The stupid play like that cost you 50 yards and a chance for 2 points, which would got you a little more back in the game. But any other way to look at it is maybe referees need to put the yellow hankies away. Allow these guys to play with some emotion. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Like, I didn't really see the big deal with him taking his helmet off for, 3 seconds? But if they're going to say that that's the rule, then that's the rule.
Okay, but if we have the 2-point try at the 2-yard line, and we're kicking... Oh, yeah. No, that's right. It's a 42-yard attempt. Was it 15 yards?
Yes.
Or did they back us? Okay, yeah, and then they add on the 10 in the end zone and then back up for the... Yeah, okay. All right. Nothing? Never mind. Carry on, guys.
Well, you do know when the show's over, you're grabbing the broom, clean this place up, right?
I thought you said burn it to the ground.
All right.
Yeah, I'll clean it up. Yep.
Hey, if that's easy to clean it up, then do that. But make sure you restock the fridge and the bar, and don't burn that.
Oh yeah, that doesn't get burned. I got my priorities.
Alright. This place is a freaking shithole. I wanna party with that guy someday. Hopefully the Vikings win though.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe we'll have room for him to come on the road with us next week.
I think he's on a fly ban, I think. That's a good thing we're on the road. Keep that guy out of there.
Alrighty then. Alright, so let's get into some of the players who played well or not well. Obviously, other than the quarterback, who had a whopping quarterback rating of, what was it, 4? Some pathetic number like that.
Assuming you can't get a negative rating, right? Or can you?
I don't know how to find out.
Yeah, I don't know how they rate this crap anymore. It used to just be football to me.
Yeah, he did good.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, QBR rating of 4. 4.
Ouch. That's going to hurt the average.
Yeah. I mean, 14 to 32. What's that, about 45%, Steven? If I'm doing math in my head. That's too much right now. But, other than that, there wasn't much to talk about. We had, again, Cook. With our offense. defense, really wasn't much, really. I mean, believe it or not, Everson Griffin has one of his best games ever, Viking. He looks as though he is back 100%. Thank God.
Yep.
He only completed 14 passes, so he only had 5 receptions, was the team leader, and other than that, it wasn't much.
Yeah, Diggs. I think Diggs had a couple of drops too.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristic.
You know, if he let things get into his head, the other team's gonna get on him, and it'll try to get into his head. And he needs to get that cleaned up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is an emotional game. Most sports are. When the league tells you you can't play with emotion and you get penalized for it, to me it's kind of stupid. But you got to control yourself when all you're doing is tricking teams. And I know when I played the games and some guy on your team did something that stupid, all we did was laugh at him. And it made me even more mad. He did something stupid 5 minutes later. Yeah, but then you laugh even more. You know, because, I don't know. I mean, there wasn't really much on D. I mean, Hunter had a good game. The linebackers played well. Harris was another strong game in the back. But, you know, Kerr stepped up.
It was just Zimmer's bad scheming in the beginning, really,
Yeah.
that did them in.
Yeah, the D was solid after that first quarter. I mean, played well.
If we can never see Nate Metters on the field again, that'd be great.
That'd be never mind, not awesome. that would be great.
I don't know. I don't understand some of the moves the Vikings have made this season. Traded the 5th for a kicker, then we cut him. We traded the 7th for Mark Fields, then we cut him so we could put Devontae Downs on the active roster to play this game.
Are we concerned with our kicker since he missed in the block, or is it just normal?
You know, no kicker's ever going to go 100% other than Gary Anderson until it counts.
Until Cowan, yeah.
This one here and there, I get it, it's going to happen, but it just seems like Vikings kickers for the past, I don't know, 5 years have been pathetic. It doesn't matter what the name on the back of the shirt is. They're just not doing well.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he responds. I'm willing to give him a mulligan this week because I it's hard to blame him for this one.
Oh yeah.
You
No,
know.
I'm not blaming him.
But I mean, it still gave you that horrible feeling in the pit of your stomach when you missed the 47-yarder. It was like, God damn it, just can't catch a break here. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna kick fine in the dome this week. But let's see if he can make one in Soldier Field.
Yeah.
That's a true test. He did make one in Philly though last year. I think he kicked a 52-yarder and we won that one. But we won that game by 2 points. So that was a really important kick because Philly was trying to come back on us. That was like week 5 last year. So I know he can do it, but he's got to do it more consistently this year.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance.
Any other players' names come to mind for this past game?
No. I'd like to flush this one down the toilet.
Very good. In the words So Bill Belichick, we're moving on to Oakland.
Yep.
All right. What do you guys want to thinking about this game? I mean, Oakland, nothing special. We should win.
Yeah,
Right?
there's just no excuse. This cannot be a loss. No. No.
Alrighty then.
It will not.
All right. So, what are we looking for? How do we beat them?
Oh, which one of you guys wants to go first?
Yeah, Jason, you're on the roll.
All right. All right. Well, obviously they don't have Antonio Brown, which is nice because that means the announcers won't talk about him the whole game. Because we wouldn't hear anything about the Vikings if he was playing. It would just be Antonio Brown the whole time. But without him, their number one receiver is Tyrell Williams, I believe. And there's nothing after that. So, the number 2 is Ryan Grant. Okay, he's one of the worst starting receivers in the game. There's no excuse whatsoever to have bad coverage in this game. Whether Hughes plays or not, and it looks like he might. Apparently he's practicing again in full. So we'll see if he plays, but I mean, Derek Carr is not Aaron Rodgers. We're at home, so we've got the home crowd. They like to make a lot of adjustments at the line, and so he needs to hear himself. I don't think he will hear himself with that crowd. The defense just has to come out, and as long as they don't, do something ridiculous like give 21 points up in the first quarter, I think they should be able to win. The offense will be able to run the ball early. They are very susceptible to the deep pass, so there should be opportunities for Diggs and Thielen on the outside. I would get Kirk Cousins going early, get him a couple of nice, quick, easy throws to get his confidence back, and then just build off of play action later in the game.
I agree with that thinking. I mean, that's the pass game. First game, Cousins threw 10 passes. This game threw horrible passes. So maybe this game as well gives the game plan of we have the pass set up to run.
Right.
And I think it would work. We have to have Cousins confident back there. If we somehow lose this game, we're going to turn into a dumpster fire probably.
Yeah, I mean, the Zimmer's seat would get incredibly hot.
Oh yeah, Spellman as well.
Derek Carr is a decent quarterback, though, right?
Yeah. At times.
I just don't want. I want us to be facing a good, decent quarterback, because otherwise we'll make them look really, really good. How many times does this defense make some unknown quarterback look really good? We can't stop him for some reason. I don't understand that, but Carr, we should have enough film on. He's been playing. That shouldn't happen. But it seems like whenever we face what should be a simple shut 'em down game, their quarterback looks all world.
Does the Vikings.
And that's why I drink.
Well, like I said, hopefully that Green Bay game was the wake-up call, because last year it was Buffalo, and obviously nobody was thinking that Josh Allen was going to come into Minnesota and light up our defense like a Christmas tree.
The wake-up call didn't come.
Well, it did for a while. I mean, we did bounce back after that. Well, Cousins bounced back after that game. The defense, it took them till after the Rams game. But I don't know. To me, like, there were so many things that the Vikings can point to where they could have said, if we had done this better, we could have won the Packers game. Like, they better be pissed off about what just happened.
Yeah. Oh, they better be.
You know what I mean? Like, they better be really pissed off and take it all out on the Raiders. That's what I want to see.
Yep. And we go back to what Zerka said last week. Put it in the throat. If we're up 28 nothing, we better not stop.
Yeah, I want to see 48 count.
Yep. Oakland has to be our open boys for it. Has to be. Just to prove to the rest of the league that we are still a good team and we're going to play hard all year.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, at least I know Anthony Harris is thinking that way. I mean, that's pretty much as he said. You know, that he didn't want to let this linger on at all. And, you know, just wanted to get right back after it.
I think our two best defenders so far have been Harris and Curtis this season. Definitely the two games, but I think those two best on the field right now.
Yeah.
Which is probably not a good thing because they're secondary. And I hope somebody up front would be having a better game. Griffin played well, Hunter's played well, Joseph's actually played well.
I think Smith strung some plays together against the Pack. Because in my notes I had Harrison Smith stop the Packers. I think he was the only one playing defense on one series. But that's just one series.
Notes you have taken when you sober.
Well, yeah. Maybe. It was 7:21, so yeah, I remember that. Oh, I know.
Rhodes has got to start better, I think. You know? Did you notice that? Like, he didn't get off to a great start, Xavier Rhodes.
He did not. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we have to get pressure on Carr to win the game. Stop Jacobs.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to run too much against us. Hopefully not.
Yeah, Jacobs is probably the player that I'm the most concerned about because they don't really have elite receivers. Carr's a decent quarterback, but he doesn't have a lot to work with on the outside. So Jacobs is basically their strong point. So if we can stop the run, we should be able to win it.
So we gotta have some coverage back there and put pressure on him.
Yeah.
Can't give him time because pretty much any quarterback in the NFL, give him enough time, he'll find something open. Yeah. So we need to get pressure on him, knock him down 8 to 10 times. On the other side of the ball, I agree with what you said earlier. Let Cousins throw the ball early and often to set up the game because I think if you're any team coming in this week to play the Vikings, you're probably going to say, Cousins is not playing well, and Cook is defending their offense, so we're going to game plan to stop Cook.
Oh, yeah.
So a smart coach might say, well, they're going to game plan to stop Cook, so therefore we're going to come out throwing. That's what I would do.
Yeah. No, I absolutely. I'd like to see that. Just some quick throws. Even, just quick comeback routes, slants, wide receiver screen, just to get some completions under his belt. And then once you're feeling good about yourself, then, in the second half when they start sucking up to the run, then you can hit him deep.
When we were favored by 8.5, you think we're going to cover?
7.5?
8.5.
8.5?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, I'll say 20 for my prediction. You want my prediction for the game?
Oh, you want to go there already? Go ahead.
27-17 Vikings.
All right, Berserk, I'll let you go.
35-14 Vikings.
somewhere in the middle. I agree with the Vikings are going to score above 30. If not, let's start looking for the dumpster fire. I'm going to go 31-17. Call it a gut feeling.
All right.
I'm going to hit Jack Daniels no more.
So Zimmer cracks the whip in practice?
You gotta. He likes his job.
All right.
You don't fire the players. You fire the coach. Right?
Yeah.
That's the old saying.
That's how it goes.
Yep. So, here's something funny. I'm looking at the odds for the upcoming games on Sunday. There are 2 games that teams are favored by over 20 points. I've not seen that since as in college.
Well,
Cowboys somehow are favored by 21 and a half. Well, they're playing Miami, that's out.
oh, they got Miami?
NFL, 21 and a half.
Wow.
Patriots favored by 23.
Who are they playing?
The Jets.
Oh yeah, the Jets are down to the 3rd string quarterback now. Simeon got hurt.
Yep. That was a pretty vicious hit too. I saw it live on TV. So. Alright, so I won mine last week. Anybody else hit theirs?
Upset special?
Yeah. I had the Seahawks go for Steelers.
Oh yeah, I picked the Giants and they lost. And then they benched Eli Manning. Jeez, I was wrong.
I picked the Cardinals and they were close.
They actually were.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first then.
Well, I'm gonna take Seattle against New Orleans. That
Yep,
New Orleans,
everybody.
no, yeah, sorry, that's right. Yep.
Oh yeah, Breeze is out. No. Out for 6 weeks?
Yep. Alright. You guys not ready?
Let me look. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I got mine, of course. Let Berserker pick his.
I'll go Denver over the Packers. Fuck the Packers and fucking fuckers. Whoops, sorry. Little hangover from last week. Sorry about that.
Alright, I am going to go with the Ravens over Chiefs.
All right, I can. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna go with the Redskins over the Bears on Monday night.
I would.
They're at home.
What happened?
Yeah.
Any given Sunday.
Never know what's gonna happen.
When
Given
Mitch
Monday.
when Mitch Trubisky is quarterback, anything is possible.
That's 4.1. Yeah, you guys have anything else you want to throw out there today?
Packers suck.
That's a given.
I won a $2 medium espresso drink at Dunkin' Donuts.
Sweet. Hopefully the bar is by Dunkin' Donuts next week then.
Yeah.
Great. Because Berserk and I will drink stuff other than coffee. Well, that's if he gets this place cleaned up.
Yeah, I got a lot to do. Yeah, yes I do.
I will say this though, it's pretty impressive for age. I mean, I would think by half the damage that you've done, you would have been exhausted and passed out or something, but this is impressive. I've never seen damage like this.
Well, you put the headphones on to go pack go, and you can just trash anything.
I give you that. I don't know why you do that, but
It's been it.
next time, tell them to stay at home and wreck that.
Stay at home and wreck my own shit. Yeah, no shit.
Well, we will rebuild. But until then, we're taking the show on the road. We will find a bar near Chicago as a follow an opponent. And we'll figure it out from there.
Sounds like a plan.
Else?
I'm good.
Alrighty. Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you next week. Roll Vikings.
Vikings, let's win this game. Skol Vikings, honor your name. Go get that first down, then get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run up the score. You'll hear us yell for more.